What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. As you guys can see, I have a special guest.
What's up, guys? Johnny Litecoin from Twitter.
Yep, you probably all have seen him before. Big talk on Twitter if you guys follow me on that. Link is in the description. But yeah, we've been going around Long Island where I live when I'm home from college, and we're promoting the use of Litecoin as a means of payment. We also visited a really cool place, which this is kind of the teaser, Cloud9, which is a really cool, as you can see, the Lamborghini, it is a really cool exotic car rental place. Like we talked about before, if you saw his Twitter, it's because this video is coming out a little later, we're going to be partnering with them. Basically, if you can't afford a Lamborghini, but that's, at the top, what we all look up to and praise, now you'll be able to rent one with Litecoin especially. So it's going to be really cool. A video will be coming up shortly, probably next week or a little bit later, as I edit it all. And basically I'm going to show you guys how the payment works, how we use it, as well as using or driving around in a Lamborghini and showing you that content too.
Yeah, what an awesome thing. When rental, we'll start saying. But if you think about it, you get a nice spike in Bitcoin or Litecoin price, and treat yourself, enjoy yourself. Hodl's great, but I always say if we hodl till we're dead, we're never going to enjoy life at all. So we can't be afraid to spend Litecoin or Bitcoin and enjoy ourselves. Obviously, it stinks spending it when the price is low, but if the price is high and you get a nice boom in price, treat yourself to something nice. Nothing better than, rent a nice Lamborghini, Ferrari, or some nice exotic car for the weekends. Bring it to Atlantic City if you're in this area. Exactly. Bring it to the beach, Yep. Hell, just drive that sucker around all weekend.
So pretty much after we show you guys how we can pay with Litecoin, or at least if they're accepting it or using it, you guys can do it too if you're in the area or you want to take a trip and rent, for a birthday or anything like that. You'll be able to actually use your cryptocurrency as a means of payment to rent some of these exotic cars, which has practically never been done before. Yes, some dealerships accept it to buy a Lamborghini, but who wants to throw away $250,000 when you can spend a couple $100 and actually get to rent one from the day and take some pictures? So
I'd rather personally rent one and keep the rest of the money in Bitcoin or Litecoin and know I'll have future highs, or I'll rent one again down the line. So guys, we will be coming to a business near you. All over the country, there's people out there promoting pay with Litecoin. We want to put one of these in your window. Let's show the public you're a Litecoin and Bitcoin friendly merchant. Mm-hmm. Let's get you on the apps to promote you to the public that you're a merchant that accepts this as a form of payment. And that's it, guys. Take it from there. Litecoin, it's a better form of money, better form of payment.
Otherwise, let's jump into the episode. Yo, what's up, guys? Hopefully you guys like that pretty cool introduction. Yes, I did hang out with John Moore. He's a really awesome guy. I actually do plan on doing more business with him later on into the week. So hopefully you guys saw that brochure. Basically, it's to a company called Cloud9 Exotics that we did actually interview today, and we got to speak to them. And I do plan following later on into next week. We do plan on going over there and actually discussing with them and actually potentially getting involved in paying with Bitcoin or specifically Litecoin, paying with Litecoin to rent a Lamborghini, which would be absolutely phenomenal, and showing them how you can, setting up a payment processing thing to, send them Litecoin and in exchange be able to use a Lamborghini. And I think that's an absolutely awesome, means of service for goods, being able to give somebody Litecoin and being rewarded with, a service, being able to use a Lamborghini, to be able to rent a Lamborghini is absolutely awesome. They have all different types of cars, Ferraris, Audis, Bentleys, Rolls Royces that I saw, Porsches. So it's really cool. And I know at some point you guys got to treat yourself a little bit. So that'll definitely be a cool video coming up. And I'll show you guys a little more of my editing. But furthermore, jumping into today's episode, I do want to look at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XLM to BTC. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content. We are on our way to 6,500 subs. I think we'll probably hit it within the next week or two, which is absolutely awesome. We are growing so close to 7K and eventually 10K. But for right now, I do want to look at the current coin market cap and then look at, give you guys my general opinion on where these coins are headed, what, is actually going to happen, what my opinion is on it. But furthermore, let's just dive right in. You can see that the current market cap is 137.1. 24-hour volume is 15.1. Bitcoin dominance 51.5. Interesting. Bitcoin dominance is slightly down from yesterday by 0.1, 0.2%. 24-hour volume is slightly down by yesterday, down, I believe, 1 billion in 24-hour volume. And then market cap is 137. So I actually believe that the market cap is higher. Could be wrong, but I do think the market cap is higher than where it was at yesterday. Now, looking at the current coin market cap is actually quite interesting because we're able to, the reason I do this for some of you guys is we can actually get a general overview of what coins are moving, what coins are pumping, what coins are dipping, where coins are sitting on the market cap. It is reliable in my sense of trading. Do with it as you want. Bitcoin is surprisingly above $4,000, 0% change, zero change from yesterday, 24 hours ago. Ethereum down 0.13%, but it's at 150, so we are seeing that decrease substantially. We saw it touch point at 160, and now it's slowly pulling back down, so we'll discuss that. We see Litecoin in the number 6 spot up quite a bit, actually, $39.51. That's huge, guys. It's beautiful that we're, still hanging out at that $40 region. Up at, the number 6 spot is beautiful too. 2.368 compared to Stellar, which it bumped out of at 2.354. So about a $14 million jump, if I am correct. Maybe a $13.5 million jump, but it's up there. Tron, though, it's just catapulting up in price, 14.47% today. We wouldn't have seen this if I just did Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So we now see Tron bumped out Tether, and I believe it pumped out Bitcoin SV2 and is now up 15% at almost 30 or almost 3 cents now per token. Otherwise, market is looking fairly even. We're seeing some double-digit coins, Ontology. The rest are kind of afloat, maybe at 4 or 5% in terms of the average price. But we have another 21% up Aurora. So let's see the total 24-hour change, and we'll jump on into the current tokens. So yeah, Aurora is actually the number one. Then we got Tron, Mixin, Ontology, Hypercash, Nexo, Qtum, and VeChain. Bunch of double-digit gainers in the percentage, and only Bagheera, which we've discussed, which was down 15%. Very interesting. Let's just slide on and move on into. Oops, did not mean to do that. Move on into the Litecoin TA and kind of get a better view of what exactly is going on within Litecoin. I know I told you guys I sold off part of my position at $39, and I did it within reason. It's totally up to you what you guys want to do with it, what you don't want to do with it. Yes, I did add another indicator. Now we have the volume right here. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. You guys can see we did start the last time we were at $40. We did have quite a bit of volume, you can see, entering the market, and currently since then, trading out sideways the past 4 days now, volume has diminished. It is depleted from the coin. So that, when we see volume die off, it usually tells us that we could potentially see a nicer move into the future. We could see a nicer run up, a nicer, break. But, the way I'm looking at Litecoin right now is we're most likely going to see a small correction and then potentially lead up further and move up. My biggest concern right now, and why I sold off and took out some profits, is because we've now had 1, 2, 3, 4 candles where we're retesting $40 as a means of resistance. Not only do we have that $40 resistance line, we have this green band, which is acting as more suppression onto Litecoin. So that's why I did sell off. It is possible that we could see some sort of correction, a fall down to $35, $36 within Litecoin, and then we could build up enough steam and shoot up into the $50 region, $45 region. That would be very nice. But you can see we have two means of suppression pushing, putting a lot of pressure on Litecoin, and it is, as you can see, pushing this coin down. That's where we're seeing a small pullback. Now that is on the daily, we're nearing overbought. Let's just check out really quick the 4 hour, then we'll move on to Bitcoin. What's nice to note is you guys can clearly see where we're having some issues right now, some underlying issues within the $40 region. You can see volume was massive when we spiked up, but it has slowly depleted to much lower levels than we've seen in the past when the coin was this high. You also noticing that we were overbought back up at this level at around $40 and $41. But you can see as the volume died off, so did the RSI. So the RSI is slowly pulling back. We're currently at 59 when we were trading at 72. So much bigger pullback. That is actually a good thing. So it does give us a little more potential to move higher. But just zooming out, you guys can clearly see that there is some sort of pattern that Litecoin followed, and it kind of strayed a little bit too far from its high-low MMA and its uptrend. So I do think a small correction is definitely needed within this coin. A small pullback like this, falling down to $34. Not only would we be having this uptrend, but the high-low MMA would also act as a reason to push this coin's price up much higher as it nears. I do think we're going to see some sort of action in about 10 days, I think, a little over a week and a half, or around a week and a half, shall we see some sort of action when we're either going to break bearish, with this ascending triangle, or we're going to see a bullish movement bringing us higher up, which is definitely more, on the latter, so of happening. Similar, Bitcoin also having an ascending triangle, and it's doing the same thing. The coins all have seemed to have found some sort of no volume, low volume, sideways movement. We're going to see a big move, guys, within the next couple of days. I'm definitely waiting for that to happen. This is a more in-depth look, a more microeconomic look. You can then see Bitcoin has its ascending triangle from a more macroeconomic standpoint. You can see Bitcoin, beautiful ascending triangle, beautiful sideways trading, 4 days now of resistance at $4,000, $4,070. So we're going to see potentially a smaller pullback, a small dip to $3,900 where we retest the uptrend. Yes, that could lead to a prominent bearish move, and we could, retrace all the way back down to $3,600, or we could break fairly bullish and break out and shoot all the way up to, $47.50, retesting the top of its high-low MMA on its daily candle. That is also a possibility that we are looking at, and I'll pretty much just tell you guys when I buy in. It would be, as soon as we can break that $4,060 line of resistance. We also have plenty of potential on its RSI in terms of the daily to move up higher, only trading at like 54, which is beautiful in my opinion. So I do think there is movement like that. Similar to Bitcoin, we also have Ethereum, which is doing a very similar ascending triangle. You can see this ascending triangle right here. We're currently breaking out of that. Lots of resistance on Ethereum. I do think it is going to have some sort of negative pullback. Obviously, if it decides to break upwards, that would be nice, instead. We would all make out a little bit. But I do think that it is going to pull back down due to the fact that it does have a resistance at 160, as well as the high-low MMA is also coming into play, putting a lot of suppression, a lot of pressure down on Ethereum's price. Lastly, XLM. We've looked at XLM quite a bit ago. It's kind of interesting as to where this coin wants to go. We did draw on an Elliott wave, a 5-point Elliott wave, and it did touch right here, and it unfortunately broke bearish from that. So it's interesting to see. It's kind of found support where its third point of contact is back in September, the beginning of September. You can see if we just extended that, not only do we have 1, 2, but we now have a third point of contact, really securing that this is a bottom support. Honestly, what I could see this coin doing is eventually building up enough pressure to eventually move up finally, and price getting back above, that uptrend, and eventually retesting its green high-low MMA on the daily. And it has the most prominent move, only being 45 on its relative strength index on its daily chart on the Binance chart. So there is plenty of potential. Obviously, this uptrend is going to be some sort of resistance, but it is definitely possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't really recommend buying in right now if you haven't already, mainly because it's too hard to read at this moment. There's really not much happening for me to want to say, buy in. It doesn't look that clear, and that's okay, guys. But you can see what I'm referring to when we did have, as I zoom in onto the third, hold on, you can see right here, as we've had with the third point of contact, and now we're having a previous, level of support, but there's definitely a clear support level right here. Oops, let me just draw it out for you guys, whoever wanted me to review XLM. Here you guys go. There's definitely a support right here hopefully you guys have noticed, cutting, right through this coin. You can see not only do we have wicks that have touched in the past support levels, full wicks, full candles itself, but we're now, seeing more support right here. And eventually we could, see some sort of movement getting us back into that uptrend, but it's possible. That's going to sum up the episode for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.